teamed up with Top Dem to do the unthinkable to Trump. There has been all kinds of talk since day one about President Donald Trump pardoning himself or one of his supporters to sabotage the Russia investigation. Despite there being zero evidence that he would do that. Special investigator Robert Mueller just found a surefire way to rip the presidential pardon away from Trump. Mueller is teaming up with the New York Attorney General to make Trump unable to use his presidential pardons. The reason this will work is because Trump, a New Yorker, could possibly be charged with a state-level crime by Attorney General Eric Schneiderman. Since presidential pardons only apply to federal crimes, he would be unable to use them. Mueller and Schneiderman have already been sharing evidence and information with one another while running two parallel investigations into the president. If this seems like a shady tactic, it absolutely is. Still, it's important to remember that none of these little tricks of legality will amount to anything unless they can find real, indisputable evidence that Donald Trump rigged the 2016 elections with Russia. What this does do, however, is give Jeff Sessions or Rod Rosenstein another reason to fire Bob Mueller for his clearly fishy tactics involving many top-level Dems including AG Schneiderman and 7 other big Democrat donors he hired on to be lawyers for the investigation. Is it time for Robert Mueller to be replaced as special investigator into Russia? Watch now. More. Related. Breaking News 24. Right after Christie's dirty betrayal, Arpaio slammed him with one brutal question. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie went on MSNBC Wednesday and talked about President Trump's pardon of former Sheriff Joe Arpaio. What Christie had to say was not nice, slamming the president for his pardon and Arpaio himself for the accusations of racial profiling that originally led him to be arrested. My understanding has always been that one of the prerequisites you look for in giving a pardon is contrition for what you were convicted of. I didn't see that in Sheriff Arpaio. Christie went on to say he would not have pardoned Arpaio if he were president. This is not one that I would have done. Although Christie later added that President Trump had the absolute right to pardon. Arpaio did not take this sitting down, going on an interview with a radio station to blast Christie's comments. I think he was a U.S. attorney, he should know the laws. You don't have to say you're guilty for a pardon, and I am not guilty, and the president understood that. He added, why doesn't he study the laws? Whoop, there it is folks. Christie, you are okay in your day, but you're a lame duck governor and you just have to step aside and let the Republicans in power do their work if all you're going to do is criticize. The last thing the president needs right now are former allies turning against him. Share this out if you agree. HT The Hill. Watch now. More. Related. Breaking News 24. He is a saint. Trump just gave something unthinkable to Hurricane Harvey victims. President Donald Trump just keeps hitting home runs when it comes to responding to Hurricane Harvey. He started working weeks before the storm. It took him almost no time to go and visit Texas to meet with organizers, and he is going back to visit the flood areas on Saturday. However, none of those hold a candle to what Trump just did for the hurricane victims today. President Trump is donating $1 million of his own money to the victims of Hurricane Harvey. Sarah Huckabee made the big reveal during Thursday's press briefing. The reporters, of course, didn't even take the good gesture for what it is and wanted to know which charity it would go to. Huckabee made it clear that Trump had not yet picked a single charity but was open to many of the amazing groups helping out. He's actually asked that I check with the folks in this room since you are very good at research and have been doing a lot of reporting into the groups and organizations that have the best and most effective in helping and providing aid, and he would love some suggestions from the folks here and I would be happy to take them. That right there is just the kind of leader Trump is. He is not happy just doing the job of president. When push comes to shove, he goes the extra mile. Help share the good news out everywhere and comment amen to send Trump a prayer. Watch now. More. Related. Breaking News 24. Terminator Trump hit Vladimir Putin seconds ago in surprise move no one saw coming. The Trump administration just retaliated against Russia and forced the closure of U.S. diplomatic locations and required Russia to close several posts in American cities. The State Department warned of a downward spiral in relations and announced today that Russia would need to close down its consulate general in San Francisco and its Chancery Annex in Washington, D.C., and the consular annex in New York City, according to Fox News. These closures will need to be accomplished by September 2, said State Department spokeswoman Heather Nauert. This decision was implemented after Russian President Vladimir Putin kicked out 700 U.S. diplomats, after Trump signed Russian sanctions into law. Here is what Rex Tillerson said below about the sanctions. The Russian order was called unwarranted and in the spirit of parody invoked by the Russians. With this action both countries will remain with 3 consulates each. While there will continue to be a disparity in the number of diplomatic and consular annexes, we have chosen to allow the Russian government to maintain some of its annexes in an effort to arrest the downward spiral in our relationship. Nauert said that she hopes we can avoid further retaliatory actions by both sides and move forward to achieve the stated goal of both of our presidents: improved relations between our two countries and increased cooperation on areas of mutual concern. Do you think we should have done this to Russia? Are we going down a pathway to war? Share this if you are mad that the media has forced Russia and the US on a path to war. Screw the media. They are the enemy of the American people. Watch now. More. Related. Breaking News 24. Moments after attack on Trump, Kim Kardashian West got slammed with brutal payback. Reality TV star Kim Kardashian West just told the world how she really feels about President Trump, and surprise surprise, it makes zero sense. Anyone can run the US better. My daughter would be better, she told Harper's Bazaar Arabia on Wednesday. We've worked so hard to get to where we were and to have so many things that we were so proud of in our country. To just literally revert backwards is the most frustrating thing. In case you weren't aware, her daughter is 4 years old. Which essentially means Kardashian West would prefer no one run this country and we just give up completely. Every single day when you can't really believe what's going on, the next day it's something else even more crazy and tragic, she said. It's really scary, the world that we're living in now. And when you did feel safe at home, now with Trump in presidency you just don't feel safe anymore. Last time I checked, the most recent tragedy hitting our country was a hurricane. Something our president clearly has no control over. But despite Kardashian West's downright silly claims, she couldn't stop the real surprise from coming out just moments after. As it turns out, Kim's husband, rapper Kanye West, publicly stated that if he had voted at all in November, it would have been for President Trump. But West didn't stop there. The rap mogul set up personal meetings with the then president-elect in December and posed for photos with him in the Trump Tower lobby. West tweeted about how he'd met with President Trump to discuss multicultural issues, including bullying, supporting teachers, modernizing curriculums, and violence in Chicago. But Kim wasn't finished eating crow. Not only did her husband stand with Trump, but it was revealed that Caitlyn Jenner also pushed Kardashian West to vote for Trump. Maybe Kardashian West should just admit she only cares about headlines and really knows nothing about how a nation is led. She couldn't offer a single example of these crazy and tragic events being directly caused by President Trump or his administration, and could only offer a silly nonsensical jab. Celebrities need to jump off the leftist bandwagon and use their exposure and popularity for something positive. American citizens deserve a nation united, and thoughtless attacks on our leaders only make us look weak. If you're sick of these uneducated celebrities and want them drained with the rest, share this with the world, y'all, and show how much louder we can be. Source: thehill.com Watch now. More. Related. Breaking News 24. Hell froze over Paul Ryan bends the knee, look what he finally sacrificed. House Speaker Paul Ryan condemned Antifa terrorists after being shamed into admitting that there is a violent left-wing presence in the United States. Speaker Ryan received criticism from alternative media outlets across the board, Breitbart and the Gateway Pundit. Paul Ryan refused to condemn their violence. Social media was set ablaze after Paul Ryan attacked Trump for condemning both sides of the violence in Charlottesville. Trump supporters hammered Paul Ryan for refusing to condemn Antifa. It turns out that attacking Trump supporters. Speaker Ryan believes, as is obvious, these individuals are left-wing thugs, and those who are committing violence need to be arrested and prosecuted. Antifa is a scourge on our country, Ryan's spokeswoman Ashley Strong said in a statement provided exclusively to the Daily Caller. Here is a series of pictures of left-wing violence. This is what took Paul Ryan days to condemn. It took Paul Ryan longer than Nancy Pelosi to condemn the violence of Antifa. This is way too long. The mainstream media bitches and whines about Donald Trump and Charlottesville. Why don't they attack Paul Ryan for not condemning Antifa violence? Watch what Antifa was doing 4 months ago. Share this all over America to embarrass Paul Ryan. Is this guy on Trump's side or not? He needs to get in line and stand with our Republican brothers and sisters against this Democratic violence. Watch now. More. Related. Breaking News 24. Yikes, Harvey just shut down gas supply to these states. Is one of them yours? The devastation from Hurricane Harvey has been tragic for sure. It continues in Houston and surrounding areas, so we should continue to pray for those people. But the problems from Harvey are not contained just to Texas. There's flash flood warnings in Tennessee for the next 2 days. And now, a major pipeline is shutting down. This will happen today. The Colonial pipeline supplies over 100 million gallons of heating oil, gasoline and aviation fuel to the East Coast every single day. And it's about to be completely closed. Courtesy of the U.S. News via YouTube.com. What's worse is that 2 East Coast refineries have already run out of gas. What does that mean to you? You better go fill up. Click on this link to see what states, cities the Colonial pipeline serves. Reuters reported. I've never seen a situation this bad, said one East Coast market source. And imports can't make up for this. This is going to be the worst thing the U.S. has seen in decades from an energy standpoint. Not wanting to start something crazy, but you know what's about to happen. Gas prices will climb, and that's if you can find gas. I expect to see those signs as I pull up to the pump, the ones that say out of gas. Which is never good if you're trying to get to work, or get your kids to school. Been there, done that. It's good to be prepared, so I recommend filling up now. But please don't be greedy, y'all. Leave some gas for the next person. We are all Americans and we are all in this together. H.T. The Hill,